お前はもう死んでいる。何？
No, no, no,
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another build guide. Hopefully this is gonna be a quick one because this is a low budget version. So I just uploaded a high budget S tier, that is my opinion obviously, Reap Cast on Crit Fulcrum Inquisitor guide, because that was a super expensive build. I wanted to also make a cheaper Cast on Crit build because some people are probably looking for some Cast on Crit builds to play. So Ice Spear is one of the most obvious ones because it is one of the most popular skills right now in the game. You can also play a Witch Occultist, that is probably the more popular one, let's say, but I'm not sure why people even play that. I'm not sure if it has anything better compared to Assassin. And also I didn't have any Witch right now in Sentinel League, so that's why I'm not gonna do a Witch. I cannot do that. That is why this is an Assassin Shadow crit, what's that, Cast on Crit Ice Spear video. So why this is cheap? Because normally Cast on Crit builds are super expensive. They are probably one of the most expensive build type in the game. This is right now costed me around, I believe, 50 Exile, maybe a little bit more than that, but definitely under 100 Exile. Maybe if I can calculate it, I will also write it down below. That is what I always do, by the way. Sometimes people just make fun of me, probably. They are like, your build is like 3 mirror, 4 mirror, what the fuck. I haven't even spent 1 mirror in my entire life to a build. So let's just start. This is gonna be quick, hopefully. Osprey's Malice, your core weapon. This is right now super cheap. That's why I bought something with skills, fire and additional projectile, which increases the number of the projectiles Ice Spear shoots. Ice Spear is a spell that can actually shotgun. That is why it is super powerful, especially at close range, because you cannot miss anything. With the skills, fire, additional projectile, it was 100 chaos. If it goes expensive, maybe skip that, because right now the DPS is just overkill with this, even with this budget. This is where you will have some other spells to help you. Frostbite Curse, so I don't have to buy expensive rings for Curse. Freezing Pulse for some additional DPS. You can use maybe another skill, but Freezing Pulse is nice because it is also fast. Make sure you buy something with quality because it has projectile speed. And I believe I also have Frost Bomb for exposure. So I don't even also need to use any other kind of, exposure stuff, maybe a gloves, whatever, because I'm gonna use something else on my gloves. Shield, Prism Guardian. I believe I bought this for 20 cas, I'm not sure. This is also super cheap. And make sure you try to get something with high dexterity, because Osprey's Malice is a jeweled foil. It is the highest base in the game. It requires 212 dexterity. So you need to get dexterity from some items. This item already provides it, so try to get a good roll. This is how you can play low life easier, because this has socketed jump save, 30% increased reservation efficiency, and also they also get reserved from life instead of mana. So we are gonna reserve our life with these buffs inside. The buffs I chose in this are obviously some high reservation cost buffs. Zealotry, spell damage, hatred, cold damage, determination, armor. This build has armor, so you don't get one-shotted by physical damage, otherwise you will just die all the time, obviously. Even with this state, determination, and I also have a Purity of Elements on one of my items, let's say. I don't remember where it is. So we are also ailment immune. So on the paper it looks good, but this is still a Cast on Crit Shadow build. Again, if you are also Occultist, it doesn't matter. They are both squishy characters. You are gonna sometimes die with this build, with this budget. If you want to be unstoppable, you need to spend at least 200 Exalt maybe, also Effort and Mage Blood maybe. That is how to make these kind of builds tankier. So expect lower defenses even with determination and ailment immunity. Don't expect tank, Inquisitor, those kind of stuff. These builds cannot be like that. Next, Crown of Inward Eye. This is the cheap helmet. Normally you may want to get a power charge helmet and maybe use Awakener Orb with, I don't know, Redeemer minus cold resist maybe, or crit multiplier Warlord. So that helmet is gonna cost you at least 5 Exalt. If you also want to buy the enchant maybe from a Labyrinth service provider, they actually have queues right now, because Ice Spear Cast on Crit is a powerful boss killer. Most people start trying to play that actually for boss killing. They actually charge at least 15 Exalt for the enchant. And again, you also need to wait queue. Most Labyrinth service providers have at least 2 or 3 people waiting for that Ice Spear. So yeah, that's gonna cost you a lot. That is not what we are doing right now. This is the low budget version. Crown of Inward Eye, that provides some transfiguration bonuses, also has some decent percentage life, mana and inner shield. I will just show the transfigurations on the screen. You can just pause the video and read those if you don't know. This helmet is like 1 chaos, 5 chaos, 10 chaos with the good roll, that's it. You can get a corrupted one with maximum power charges if you want. I'm not sure about the price, but it should be cheap because this is a cheap helmet. Or if you can afford a enchant, maybe you can get Ice Spear, fires an additional projectile. It was 7 Exalt once I checked it. Don't get any help from a service provider. Again, that is waste of money. Or this helmet. If you want to do that, get a rare helmet and craft that instead. Body armor, chevrons, wrappings. This is how you can play, obviously, low life. Because chaos damage taken does not bypass energy shield, that's it. This was 2 Exalt as 6 link, super cheap. Next, gloves. So a rare gloves with damage against shield enemies, that is how to get some additional DPS. So normally I guess witch builds needs more dexterity and also maybe accuracy. So if you put maybe accuracy on this, you can also get accuracy on your gloves, by the way. Not gloves, rings. But that's not what I'm doing right now. I believe assassin can achieve easier accuracy. I don't have any accuracy on any of my items. You don't need that. So this is actually what makes this glove super cheap. I bought this for 30 chaos. If you don't put any, again, dexterity or accuracy, this is cheap. If you put any of those stats, this build also needs dexterity, but I'm gonna use get dexterity from other items, alright? So if you put any of those, this gloves is like 10 exalt maybe. I believe that is what witch builds use. Again, I'm telling the same thing. So if you skip that, bam, 30 gas, 50 gas, maybe a 1 exalt item in the end. This build actually keeps resists super easy because we have Purity of Elements for all resistances and ailment immunity. Also Prism Guardian that grants, I believe, 37% all resist. This glove automatically has cold resist because that is a combined modifier with damage against shield enemies. So that's why maybe try to get at least one more resist. I picked chaos resist and maybe some energy shield, alright. After that use eldritch currencies, whatever they are called, to put unnerve for 10% additional DPS, and also projectile pierce and additional target, because Ice Spear is a projectile skill, normally it doesn't pierce. The quality that Ice Spear that actually has what is that, 2 pierce or something, that is an expensive gem. I'm not using that. I played with regular Ice Spear. I tried to keep this build as cheap as possible, but I also spent a little bit on some pieces, because this is a custom crit build in the end. You cannot build it like maybe 10 exalt, it will be shit. What's this? Amulet. Presence of Chayula. This was with Anoint, I believe 1 exalt. Maybe without Anoint it is cheaper. I was lazy, found something with Anoint, I don't know. So this is normally cheap amulet. If you use Fertile Catalyst, that life convert energy shield actually goes up to 24%, which means more energy shield. So make sure you do that, or buy something that already has catalyst on it. Maybe that will be cheaper, because Fertile Catalysts, I believe, a little bit expensive. Yeah. This provides cannot be stunned, super important. This build also is ailment immune, so you will be unstoppable in the end. Also provides a huge amount of energy shield and chaos resist. Definitely a best in slot for this build. Rings. On one of your rings, you are probably gonna want to put some missing attributes. Again, weapon needs 212 dexterity. Some gems, especially determination, also will need strength. So make sure you put those on your rare pieces. There is also gonna be a belt, so you can also put some on that. Also, we are gonna use some cluster jewels, so maybe you can also get some little dexterity and strength on those. Other stats on the ring. Minus mana cost is a must. Even with this state, I have 6 mana cost. Then I actually ended up buying Divergent Inspiration. That was like 4 exalt. I had to do that because I was actually running out of mana, and I didn't want to use any mana flask. You can also do that in the end again. Divergent Inspiration helps a lot, but it is actually expensive. Or again, use mana flask until you can afford it. But try to put non-channel mana costs on your ring, that is a must. And also get a replica Conquerors efficiency jewel, which is like 20 chaos. With the corruptions, maybe 50, 60, maybe you can get some maimed immunity, that is what I did. To be immune to slows maybe, or maybe get hinder immunity. I don't know, something with corrupted, because this is a cheap jewel in the end. So fix that mana issue, or play with mana flask until you can afford it. Mana flask probably should have enduring modifier. So the mana flask actually goes all the time, you know, it doesn't stop. So that is a good mana flask option. Other ring, so because the build was super cheap, I wanted to expand an extra for some extra DPS, let's say. But in the end, the DPS is enough, even with this budget, overkill. But yeah, I bought a power charge ring. Sentinel modifier also has power charge right now, so that's why those rings starts from maybe like 10 exalt. But I just search for power charge. and just search. This was the cheapest one, Circle of Fear. Herald of Ice buff effect and some reservation, so that helps because this build uses Herald of Ice. But again, you can also get a rare ring and also put that mana cost reduction on the prefix. That is probably better because the DPS is already enough. So a power shard ring is the min-max of this build. Try to get maybe power shard rings and also maybe craft that helmet if you have a higher budget. Maybe I will also do a higher budget version later on with maybe Mage Blood for the rich boys. Because right now at least 10,000 people have Mage Blood. That is why I am trying to do some Mage Blood builds these days. Because people are looking for those. Most people don't even make Mage Blood guides, I guess. So that's why I will also try to do those this league. But I have lots of cheaper builds in my channel already. This is one of those that can also kill most stuff. Finally, belt. Because I still needed dexterity because I bought a Circle of Fear that is actually also has some dexterity on it. But anyways, I still needed dexterity, yeah. So cheaper way to get dexterity. Essence Craft, Crystal Belt. This costed me like 30k maybe, that's it. I just spammed Essence of Sorrow, I guess, picture is gonna be on the screen, to put the dexterity, aimed for some energy shield, that's it. This doesn't provide anything else. Again, this is a low budget build. Cooldown recovery rate, that is important, because you need to hit that next breakpoint. So let's just explain that right now. So Keystone Crit builds need to get some cooldown recovery rate and also balance their attack speed. So I will just put a chart on the screen. For this build I picked 52 and above because it was easy to do on this build. And also because this is already a low budget, if you play with a lower cooldown you will lose millions of DPS. I will just check my DPS maybe, but it won't be accurate anyways. I guess I lost like 10 million maybe with the lower cooldown version. So definitely try to do that 52% and above cooldown. Here is how to do that. I put what is that, cooldown on my belt from benchcraft. Again, it goes up to 12%, which is enough. Get a boots with cooldown recovery rate. Also combine it with tailwind. These boots are like 5 exalt at least. I paid 6 exalt for this. It doesn't have anything special. I just search for movement speed, tailwind and cooldown recovery rate. I guess you can also craft or not. No, okay. You need to have that cooldown and tailwind at the same time. That is a shaper and hunter combined item. You need to use Awakener or just buy from someone else because people craft this all the time. Because Keystone Crit is something that people actually plays. I believe there is also cooldown on Crusader bases. So make sure your boots have 15%. You can use Divine Orbs to fix that. Try to have that good cooldown on your boots. And also craft that from the bench on your belt. Because you are going to craft your belt anyways. It is going to be cheap enough. Finally, Awaken Keystone Crit gem. That provides, I believe, 30% something. At least. This is right now 2 exalt. This gem is super cheap. So yeah, this won't cost you that much in the end. So hit that 52 or above cooldown recovery rate. If you have 52, that is enough. Something more than that, maybe 55%, maybe 60%, I don't know. That doesn't do anything, alright? So after that, you need to balance your attack speed. Cosperi Malice is already a super fast weapon. But you may need to get some jewels to fix your attack speed if you just follow the same talent tree. In the end, you need to have 10 attacks per second, but not more than 10.1. If you have maybe like 10.2 attacks, which is higher, faster than the cooldown, you are gonna lose DPS. If you have lower than 10 attacks per second, this is only your Cyclone, by the way, obviously. That is how you proc your Keystone Crits. You need to check your Cyclone's attack speed in Path of Building, alright? So if you have lower than maybe 10 attacks per second, you again lose DPS. So make sure you equip everything and put some attack speed depending on how much you still need. Just craft some random jewels in Path of Building, maybe some Crimson jewels, Cobalt jewels, whatever they are. And put that attack speed and try to figure out how much attack speed you still need. And also you can use Divine Orbs on those jewels to get that exact amount of attack speed you need. Because jewel, let's say, has an attack speed on it, which is like 3 to 5 maybe. Maybe you need that 4%, so use Divine Orbs to fix that. Make sure you have that 10 attacks, but not more than 10.1 in the end, alright? That is how that works. That is also about that. That's it about the guide. I hope it was quick enough. Again, this is a low budget version, so expect lower defenses. You will sometimes die with this build, because if you want to min-max this build, it is at least 200 exalt easily. Because there are some ridiculously expensive pieces that doesn't even have a cheaper version. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Again, check my other low budget guides if you have lower budget and still want to kill uber bosses and those kind of stuff. The most powerful ones right now are Healthless, Molten Strike Champion, just search for that, or Reap Inquisitor, because I have a lower budget version and a Mage Blood version for that build. So go and check those. I guess I have one more stuff, but I cannot remember it right now. So anyways, check those in my channel. You can just easily find those. If you want to be a supporter of this channel, you can check my Patreon. And make sure you are also in my Discord if you want to chat with me, because that is what I do all the time with people. If you have any questions, join my Discord. Thanks for watching. I will see you later. Bye bye.